This is going to be a fun video, well, somewhat fun video, because we're going to share with you our thoughts on how an MACC or any regulatory investigation into public companies can damage, right, the business. And also, we want to see how perhaps they can recover from something like that. And most important, as an investor, how do you look at this? If you own the share, how you can respond to it? And if you're looking to own the share, what are the best practices? So let's start with the first case studies, and today will be all mainly case studies. Quick announcement, Viral Pro will be having a special 40% discount for all new subscribers. This offer will end on 11:59 p.m. 4th of November. If you want to grab hold of this discount, head over to our comment section or description. Probably the most high profile one here is YTL Power with their education project with the government, One Bestari Net. Recently, there was a probe into the company. Well, I say recently, I mean middle of this year, so about July. And it's down. It's down big. I think the peak was 5 ringgit. Today is 3. So that represents 40% drop, right? At least.
Yeah. So this was once YTL Power and YTL Corp was once a darling to investors, especially for foreigners also, because of their business model that they can sell electricity to Singapore and also their relationship with NVIDIA and a lot of like the data center related team. But right now it is slowly going down after, these news start to happen. Now, this is not only just happening in YTL Power, but also another company that we see, which is Rexit. And this one is still fresh because it's just announced like 4 days ago. So Rexit, if you actually read the Edge issue for last week, you notice that the directors or the major shareholders are actually something to do with this cybercrime ring. And also another thing also they did mention was the current CEO. He has like some work related with the online casino called BK8. So I'm not sure if you guys got see the ads or not, but for my social media, Facebook and everything, I've been seeing BK8 ads for the longest time. All the time.
They have the song, they sing the song, and then they're cheerleaders, I still remember.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's actually an interesting fact that I didn't know about it. And what's interesting was the former CEO of Rexit, or the former major shareholder, right? He also didn't know that he has this background. Yeah. So I don't know how the deal came about, but what the interview actually stated was that the former CEO, he just said that, this guy has an IT background. So I think he is one of the guys that is pretty smart and probably can run the company well. And then just like that, he just sold his share, majority of his shares.
Jail in Singapore.
Yeah. And then right now, the 2 major shareholders in jail. And you can see that the share price after that, it kind of like tanked quite a lot.
Yeah.
So that's the second one. Now, third one is
CTOS.
Yeah, CTOS. This one's happening on the happened on the July 2024. And yeah, so if you guys can recall, there was a businesswoman who actually filed for damages because I think they record wrongly about her details or something like that. So that actually triggered a sell over here. But that sell-off is only temporary. And then you can notice that the share price actually start to rebound back after that when the CTOS actually managed to clear in the court case. But right now, the reason why it's actually dropping is because their future quarterlies, or the quarterlies that they have been reporting right now, the results are not pretty good. So that has to do with fundamentals at the moment. But whether there may be potentially like future MACC or not, I think it's quite very likely to happen to them, because the information or the product that they are selling is actually quite sensitive. It's all personal data of clients. So yeah, all of these things could have happened in CTOS. Now the next one is RGB. This one also
because of the industry they're in.
Yeah, this one is
slot machines or like
casino
gaming
related
machines.
Stuff. Yeah, but then the MD got say that the MACC has been completed and resolved, but even though he did assure the market that it's done, but you can see that the share price didn't recover back to its previous high. And this is despite them actually reporting a great quarterly results. So this is actually very interesting. Even though you report good profits, But because you have like this MACC case, the share price just don't seem to like actually rebound back as fiercely as it was before. Now, another one, which is the famous Legenda, 29 May 2024. These are also they kena MACC for their seniors rep over some land prop. And if you look at the share price, it limit down.
Yep, it did, and it didn't. I mean, a mini comeback, but
still not at the peak.
Old price.
But if you remember the day, right, it was a kind of like a nightmare, lah.
Yeah, it was.
Cause it's like a consecutively limit down. But yeah. Okay, the last one we have is Prolitas.
This is the only one that actually made like a full comeback.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting to see that they also make a full comeback. And the reason why they managed to do it is because I believe that some of our research team were discussing about this is that on one hand, it is not related to the highway trust. And then the other one is because this subcontractor or basically the personnel that is actually handling this job is actually related in the group level. Not group level, but the private level.
It's a different subsidiary. You can say?
It's like different entity lah.
Okay.
So that's why you can see that.
Different entity, but linked to Prolitas lah.
Yeah.
But they're just different. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that that's why the share price actually managed to rebound back a lot because it's nothing to do with the highway trust, and yeah, they kind of like released the stuff already lah after they did some investigation. So yeah, interesting fact is that most of these companies' profits are actually growing, even though they are going through this MACC crisis or investigation. But if you look at the share price movement, it actually didn't really recover back up other than Prolitas because it is a different
entity. That's really one, I think that's the one lesson. I think that's the number one lesson here is that we like to invest in fundamentals, but if there's one thing that is in a way more important or highly connected to fundamentals, it's all these investigations and people who question the quality of the management.
Yeah.
And I think once that trust is somewhat broken, it's hard to build back, even though you're gushing cash. Or rather, you would have to gush so much cash that people forget about what happened in the past. And to be fair, perhaps some of these mistakes, and I use quote unquote because we don't know for sure, some of them are still under investigations, but some of these mistakes potentially made by the company are not intentional. Maybe it was just a slip up, it's not,
or probably it's just unlucky.
They thought they go into the deal, they will be able to cover themselves, and then suddenly they don't. Things like that. And of course, government change, right? The one Bestari thing happened for YTL before all the political upheaval.
Yeah, exactly. So and before we go to why the share price cannot recover, we're going to be sharing one key component that most of the investors actually like missed out. It's not the fundamentals, but it has to do with the foreign funds. So if you look at YTL Power and YTL Corp, right, if you see their past big funds transaction, especially for foreigners, they actually are the net buyers for these few companies. And when they buy, even though the amount is so small, but the magnitude that they can actually cause the share price to rally or go down is actually very huge. So here is our Ferrari Bytes. So this is our free newsletter. If you want to subscribe, it's on the description and comments. So you can see this is what I wrote. Foreign funds, imagine they sold 23 billion shares in stock market. It actually can cause a 90 billion drop in a total market of Bursa listed companies. So which means they only sold 23 billion, actually this is value, not in shares, 23 billion value, but they cost the magnitude is 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah, and also there's actually one more part, which is where they buy, the magnitude is actually 20 times.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is very unpredictable. You never know how.
But the point is that there's an outsized effect. Right?
Yes, exactly. So that is the power of foreign funds.
Quick announcement, Fire Pro will be having a special 40% discount for all new subscribers. This offer will end on 11:59 p.m. 4th of November. If you want to grab hold of this discount, head over to our comment section or description.
Now, so foreign funds are very, very ESG centric.
But the G
Especially
is more
the G.
important.
Yeah,
Yes.
So if you don't know what CG, it is corporate governance. And the reason why corporate governance is so important to them is because it is something that they cannot visualize, they cannot see what is going on behind the scenes. So
Once it happens, then, which is the third one, right? They will imagine a worst case scenario.
yes,
Which is
exactly.
exactly what I told you earlier on about the rats, right? If one rat come out, people are like, oh my God, there are 10 other rats, I'm out.
Yeah.
They don't even bother checking the kitchen. Doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
this-
Because it is something that they cannot control and it's all unforeseen.
Exactly, especially for foreigners.
Yes. So that's why they are being even more careful than us retailers, even though we are on the ground. Probably some of the
Correct.
things that we know that probably is over exaggerated. But for them, to them, it's actually something that is.
But that's the opportunity for locals, right? Because foreigners won't be able to see this. If you know the company well, and if you know it's overblown, then that is actually an opportunity.
Yeah. So that is what we call the irrational fear, lah.
Yeah.
And it is actually one of our catalyst portfolios, a way of like finding
Yes,
companies
yes.
that is undervalued. That's a cool fact. So yeah, we want to end this video with this quote from Warren Buffett. He said that if you want to look for people to hire, there's 3 qualities that you need to look at: integrity, intelligence, and energy. But if they don't have the first one, the other 2
Yep.
will actually kill you.
And he has actually said it in a different way before. He said that if you don't have the first one, you want to make sure that the guy is dumb and lazy.
So that's why integrity is very, very important in a management. And obviously, you want to buy companies where management are honest and have the utmost integrity. So yeah, that's about it for today's video. And here is our Fire Pro's performance. If you didn't know, we actually
You're
split
splitting
up.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
so
a
now
few
there'll be 2 portfolios. There'll be FPM and FPG. FPM will be Malaysia. FPG will be global.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is as of the 4th of November, 11:59 p.m. midnight, we will be ending our big 40% discount. Because after that, we'll be increasing the price from 557 to 597. So we're giving you guys a big discount to all the way to 334 so that you can hop on the program. So this is roughly about 1,004 ringgit a year, which is less than a gym membership. What's inside Fire Pro? 3 things. Number 1, we have write-ups on companies, Malaysia and global, that will shortcut your research time by 90%. Number 2, obviously you can reference these portfolios as a way to, if you haven't started your portfolio or you're not sure how to build a portfolio, you can use it as a reference. And number 3 will be these things called management notes, which are private. Whenever we meet management in private or maybe in public, but perhaps it's like closed off, like a briefing. Some of the notes we share with you guys. So instead of you having to go and do all the research online and then go and try to meet management, we do everything for you. You can think of it as a research as a service.
So if you want to get a taste on how you write our write-ups, you can check it out in the free sample. The links will be in the description and comments below. With that said, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.